Marti, obviously not how you wanted to start the season. Where do you think it went wrong today?
No, I'm not very satisfied about our performance. I think that yeah, I like the game despite I could say that probably checking the stats we got even more chances than West Brom. I think today the boxes made a big difference, but I'm not satisfied. Even though we took the lead, I think we got a kind of good moments during the first half, during 10 minutes, something like this, and then after we score, slowly we start to drop, and basically the equalizer was a consequence of we dropping too much, defending too passive. It was a bad box defense, and then yeah, we conceded the first one. I think the three goals actually are pretty bad because it was about something that we did very well in the past, and unfortunately today we were not at that level. And as I said, I think that West Brom shot on goal 4 times. Three of them were goal, and another one was a brilliant save from Paul. So that shows big difference. And instead, we got more situations around the box. Obviously, the last 20, 25 minutes, because of the trend of the game dynamics, usually when you are losing by 2 goals, that's the kind of dynamics that it can happen. We got a lot of situations, plenty of situations, but still not very, very clear goal chances. So it's something that it was a big difference on there. The second goal is a bad 1v1 defense, a bad box defense as well, and the third goal it's very poor because we cannot defend a throw in a 1v2 basically. Said that, I think it's a good reality check to understand that something that I've been speaking a lot about in the last weeks about understanding that the reality of this league is very challenging and that even though we finish in a good way last season, it's fine, but it's not going to help us and to win any game during this season. I think it's a good reality check. So hopefully in the long term, I think that will help us, yeah, to everyone to understand where we are and that we need to be very humble and work very hard to achieve what we want to achieve.
Why do you think the team became passive after taking the lead? It seemed like a really good moment. The stadium got up.
Yeah, because sometimes I think yeah, it's a kind of a natural trend. When you get something, you want to protect it, and it should be the opposite. When you get something, you need to be even more aggressive to protect it. And yeah, it's something that we try to work on. But again, as well, there is some reasons tactically. I think that West Brom dropped a lot of players in the base. They were building many times with 5 players in front of our first line of pressure. So then we need to defend much higher with the back line, and yeah, the whole team connected to defend much higher. Otherwise, they got players like yeah, Swift and other players that have a great foot. So when they can receive, think they can break lines, they can play behind, and then the dynamics of the game change. I think in the second half we adjust. We were much better at pressing, but still, yeah, we didn't defend the box well, and then the dynamics changed a lot. I'm very disappointed, especially about the third goal, because I'm sure that by keeping the 1-2, still disappointing to concede the 2 goals we did, but we should have more possibilities to get something from the game.
Like you say, last season isn't going to help, but the team did look quite different from how we saw at the end of last season. Were you surprised by anything you saw today?
No, I think that usually the first game is always a bit unpredictable, isn't it? Because there's a lot of emotions, there's a lot of yeah expectations about everybody wants to win the first game, and I think it was very crucial for us, as I said before, to concede the third goal, because it's still when I look the performance, I don't think that Westbrook was much better. They deserve to win because we were not good at defending the box or attacking the box, and that's what at the end makes the difference in football. But yeah, we have a lot of work to do, and I'm aware of that.
I think Zan Celar ended up having the fewest touches of any player that started. Why do you think it was so hard to get him involved in the game?
Well, first because usually players need some kind of adaptation. This adaptation can take a few weeks or can take more than that, but it's not easy for a player that has never played championship to play against a very aggressive team as West Brom with good players, a team that did the playoff last season, and they keep the same structure, the same foundation, so to say. Second, because we know about Jan's qualities, and mainly inside the box, he's a player that can stretch the defense, that can has a good diagonal runs and good movements behind the defenders, but he basically needs partners and players that can fit him. And unfortunately, the minutes he was on the pitch, he didn't get many of those.
I was going to say the goal you scored was from a cross into the box, but there wasn't as many crosses into the box after that. Was that concerning?
No, what was concerning is that after the goal, when you take the lead, I think it's a moment to be very aggressive. And then instead, unfortunately, we start to drop. And I would say that the last 20 minutes of the first half were pretty bad. I didn't like them. Out of the goal that we conceded, we were we were pretty low in possession. We want to play much higher. We want to keep the ball for longer to be aggressive against the opponent, and it was just the opposite. sometimes you need to accept that the opponent is doing good things. As I said before, they drop a lot of players to get the ball, and then we need to be a little bit more brave in our approach on pressing. That in the second half, I think, when you concede that kind of goals, obviously mentally it affects a bit. But we play against a quality team, and they were good today on scoring the chances. We need to be more aggressive, of course, but I think the last 20-25 minutes, I don't know, but I'm sure that we had a lot of situations inside the box, a lot of crosses. So I don't think that it's a general concern. More a specific moment on the first half, but we're not playing very good.
You gave Jonathan Varane 10 minutes towards the end. What did you make of it?
Happy.
Pass he made, is that kind of a sign of what?
Yeah, I think that he's a good player that will help us a lot, both when we want to regain the ball, because he's aggressive in that part. He can anticipate, he can intercept a lot of passes. He reads very well in this phase, and then at the same time, he has the quality enough to protect the ball under pressure, to break lines. So I'm sure that he will be a very good addition for the midfield.
You think, obviously, with Nearly not being available, create the spark? I mean, Lucas' side, there wasn't really anyone else that was.
I think Lucas, as you said, had a very good game, and definitely we need more from other players. I'm happy, satisfied with Alfie Joy minutes. I think that he had a lot of energy and he brings some things to the team. Ryan perhaps had not his best game, but still quality player. He got an assist, so at the end we're speaking about quality more than quantity. What we need to help him is to develop his game. I think that I'm responsible as a manager to get the best of the players, and I'm sure that there is much more on them than what they showed today.
When Ryan went off, was that an injury? Was that
Ryan was cramping. He was cramping, and we don't want to risk because we have a new game on Tuesday, and now actually we need everyone ready.
Marti, you say it's a reality check in terms of expectation, but is it also in terms of the transfer market as well? Today change your idea about what you might need in the next month or so?
No, actually, I'm pretty stubborn, and my idea has not changed over the last 2 months. The club knows that pretty well, and that's where I am standing. So, yeah.
Should we expect to see some new faces by this time next week?
Good question for Christian and for the club.
We tossed Cambridge, Just obviously it's a cup game. Squad these games. Having lost today, is there a kind of temptation to kind of keep guys that play today, give them minutes to kind of behind them?
I want to win all the games. I want to win all the games. So our approach to Cambridge will not change. I think that I'm going to try to set up the team in the best way we know to try to win that game. And I think that one of the beautiful things of English football is the tradition on the caps. I think it's a fantastic opportunity as well to play more games, try to advance in a beautiful competition, and that's what we're going to try to do. So my approach will not change because of the result today.
Brought on Daniel Benny in the second half. I think initially he was signed to be a kind of in the development squad. Has he sort of shown to you in anything in pre-season that's kind of he's now coming off the bench in Championship?
He definitely got the minutes, same as Alfie, because they both deserve. They have been working really well on the friendlies. They have doing really good things during the game trainings, and then when I feel that a player is ready to contribute, we just try to give them the platform to express themselves. I'm happy with Danny. Even though sometimes there is plans, those plans many times he just try to understand what is the reality of the team and the reality of the players. So in that sense, I don't care if someone is 16 or is 36. Try to always line up the best ones, and I think that he deserved the minutes, and he did quite all right the minutes he was on the pitch.